Today I learned a very important lesson. I think I may have forgotten that you need to calm down. Um, Earlier, this is both probably a lesson to anyone who wants to get good at the game. It's really important to stay calm during a game. I know, like, sometimes you'll see a deck and then it'll be, oh, it's this deck again. This is like the 10th deck that I've played, and it can be quite irritating, especially if it's one of the stronger decks. But the thing is, there are a lot of decks, and not like, um, if you go over to mobalytics.com, where you can see all the list of the decks, the meta decks, you'll see all sorts of decks there. You can go to the meta section where all the top performing decks are there, archetypes, and you'll notice that some of those top performing decks are performing bad when you use them. And you might think, well, why is this happening? I spent so many wild cards building this deck. I spent money, I spent time learning it, and earning that money to spend. I spent time to earn the wild cards, to grind for them, and then suddenly they're not performing as much as I wanted to. But in the pro scene, net decking is not shamed on. There are different variations, but basically they're all the same. The 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 idea behind it is to pilot the deck. Even your pro players may not have actually built them by themselves. They may have had help from other friends, from mentors, because even the pro players have mentors, friends, supporting groups, and play groups, play tests of these meta decks. And it's all about piloting and manipulating the cards that you have, making this the best of a situation. And I sort of forgot about this because I was playing today, this morning, and I got so frustrated. I got so triggered that I kept losing over and over and over, and then I eventually dropped down back to gold 4. I was at gold 2, and I dropped down to gold 4, and eventually I realized that I was not cool. My state of mind was not properly working. It wasn't straight. I was too focused on winning, and I was too annoyed. Focusing on winning is okay, but focusing on the fact that you keep losing and you keep screwing up, and all of this negative energy does not help you at all. So what I did was, I went back to MTG. I opened up the arena, and for those of you who aren't aware, I play both MTG and Legends of Runeterra lore. And so I was playing MTG, and it sort of brought me back to my roots, to my basic training as a card game player. And I realized that tilting or getting triggered at the slightest bit of detail does not help you think properly. You may not think much of it, but deep down, somewhere in the psychological aspect of it all, it really does. It sort of affects. So it's really important that you have to maintain that calmness and be genuinely calm. You can't just be quiet. You have to be in that moment of focus, that moment of serenity, and not be, just have your zen moment. Be zen. Don't get triggered, tilted. And because there are people who are quiet, but at the same time they're triggered, in their mind, in their psychology, they're just, they're tilted. Everything seems so negative already. So there are people like that. But that just because someone's quiet doesn't mean that they're calm. So that's what I learned. I had to remember that I had to be reminded of being in that state of calmness. And then when I attained it, when I gained that sort of mental stability, I was starting to win games. And that's one of the reasons why in the video I will be including some of my earlier videos where I was winning and losing. So that's up to you guys if you want to watch that. But I will also, at the sort of midway, I don't want to put too many of the negative footage of me, you know, sort of not being focused, but because but it will be a learning experience if you do watch it, because you can really see the difference of how my mental state was in, from one mental state to another, from one that's so agitated and irritated to one that's so calm. And I am quiet in that calm state, but it's because I'm focused. I had my mind sort of straight. I had to sort of remember to calm down. And actually, what I was quiet, and in my mind, the song that was playing in my head was Taylor Swift's "You Need to Calm Down," and for some reason it helped. So yeah, today's deck feature is for Fearsome. I don't think I can say that on YouTube, but it's there. I don't think YouTube will watch this through and through and see that. That won't be the title of this video, but Fearsome Creatures. That's what it is. Fearsome Mearsome. I don't know. It's up to you to name it. Anyway, so this deck is strangely, the concept of this deck was supposed to revolve around the mechanic Fearsome, where any opponent that has less than 3 power could not block. But it sort of evolved into something more than just, you know, that Fearsome mechanic, because it became so synergist. I don't know. The synergy between the cards was just so amazing, so great, really good, that it just sort of worked well. So we have Mark of the Isles, which I normally use to finish off the opponent. You can do that. It's a legit thing if you are very calculable with your damage done per round. You can do that. If you can see that you have lethal and you have these cards, go ahead. That's a win condition. And then you can also just sort of dominate the board with these spiders alongside Elise, but don't force it, because one of my mistakes was I kept trying to force Elise into becoming that win condition for me so that I have a lot of things on the board. But Elise isn't that kind of champion. More of, she's sort of like a support where she can get you from early game to end game because of her ability to challenge the opponent once she's leveled up or upgraded, her ability to, you know, have Fearsome on the spiders. But don't force her to be your win condition. She can be, but don't force it. Most likely your win condition will be just simply dealing damage to your opponent, outsmarting them, applying deny when crucial, having Shadow Assassin on the board, making use, taking advantage of her elusiveness so that, you know, nobody can hit her or block her. And then Frenzied Skitterer. Usually, this is where the win condition for Elise comes in. That's what you want, but don't force it. Don't force it. You can use it in a different way too. Just if like, you don't have to maximize the ability of these cards. They have other applications that will work just as fine depending on the situation that you're in. Remember, at the beginning of this video, I did say that playing these net decks, even the pros do it. Even the pros play these net decks, and there's no shame in it. But because there's no shame in it, because there is skill in being able to manipulate the cards. Not everyone is going to play the cards the same way that you do. Some will have different ideas, some will sort of improvise on the go, because that's just how it is. If everyone played the same decks the same way, that would be truly boring. It's the true skill in these card games is how you manipulate everything, how you manipulate the cards, how you interpret your opponent, how you see through your opponent's strategy, how you remain blind or sort of shrouded in mystery from your opponent, because they're probably doing the same thing as well. They're probably reading into you, trying to read your moves. So yeah, that's one of the key factors here to becoming good at this game. Hecarim is also probably one of your win conditions, but don't, like I said, don't get too caught up on trying to protect Hecarim. Sometimes, it's just as they say in chess. Sometimes you gotta feed the queen for the king to win, or sometimes you gotta let a few pawns die before you let the queen dominate, or whatever. So that's some advice that I can give some of you. Withering Wail, remember, this can heal you. It can also do damage, but just because it does 1 damage doesn't mean that you have to make the most out of it, or wait for your opponent to have 1 damage left on their creatures just to use it. It has heal. You don't have to. Your opponent, you don't have to make the most out of it, basically. Rasa the Sunderer is probably one of my favorite, and yet the hardest to use, at least for me, because there are some tricky applications for Rasa the Sunderer, wherein you might have to get a little bit clever to use Rasa the Sunderer a little bit more effective, and it's great against, you know, the enemy champions if you want to use it against them. Vengeance, I wouldn't really rely on Vengeance so much unless you absolutely have to. Commander Ledros is one of the more annoying cards in this game, because basically one of the things that I hate about this is because it says cut the enemy nexus health in half rounded up. I did not read the rounded up part. So basically what that means is if you have 1 health on your nexus, half of that is 0.5, but you round that up, so it's a 1, and that's how much damage it does. So it can actually kill you or defeat you just as that. Plus it's got Last Breath, where it returns the card to your hand, which is very, very annoying, because then essentially Commander Ledros is immortal, but is very expensive at a 9 to cast, something that you want to play very carefully at the end of your game and consider it into your strategy very carefully. Anyway, I'll see you guys into gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to stay calm. Elno. I think his Ez is the Elnook version. Okay.
There's nothing to fear.
do you think he's... Oh, what the heck. He's going through all that trouble. I don't get to see what he used. I don't get to see what he used. What he discarded.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
He could freeze. Which I think... Okay, well, he just used up... Yeah. I didn't think that he could freeze. I was assuming that he would just block.
Fresh tracks.
It's interesting.
Gotcha.
We could use a bite.
I know we had hecarim, but I want to back him up into a corner before I start putting on the big guns. Interesting. Interesting. That's his last one.
Come closer. I don't bite.
A true Freljordian welcome. Excuse you. Roar? They don't know what they're up against. Time for a true display of skill.
Silent as death.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
You cannot escape.
Hear that? Can't afford to miss.
I think it's in the bag. It's in the bag. Yeah, he can freeze too. Block one.
Cold isn't the only danger.
Okay, he's still in it. But he's down to 1 HP. He's probably banking on the idea that he's gonna get Ez. Or some way to, yeah, do that. And that's a Toro. Is he gonna help me heal? Sure. Keep trying. Keep trying, man. It wouldn't be so bad to have hecarim. It's such a huge card. Especially against Teemo. Teemo will take you into the end game.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Yikes.
Swiftly.
Yeah, he gets a free one.
That's gotta stay.
Silent as death.
Who's a good boy?
I will play my part.
Wait, I cast the right one, right? Kill an ally and draw 2.
My collection. Prepared for anything.
Well, this is the annoying thing about Teemo. You can't really. Oh wait, no. Ah, shit. I could have put down the spider,
Ready.
which would have prevented, and we didn't get the mistrace. Well, thank you, game.
There's enough for everyone.
This one has one. He did use the thing. Okay. I think I'll capitalize on the fact that he has no mana.
Just trying to help.
We have a lot of heal, so I have to use that to my advantage. Scribe of Sorrows. Just sort of discourage him from
The
attacking.
dark beckons.
Oh,
Heroes could talk.
Peddler. So I'm not sure if I want to put this down, but seeing as he is playing an unknown deck, right? Okay. Send in the Goonies. Chip by chip, piece by piece, brick by brick. That's one. Head. Two. Mystic shot. What was the other thing? One. Why do you want to do that? First of all, why do you want to do that? That's like... Alright, I think this will... If he doesn't have it, this will draw it out.
Another day in the field.
Oh. Timo. Hello.
You'll never know what hit him.
Ow.
I love to smell mushrooms in the morning.
Yeah, he gets to double it. Should have never let him use that.
Adventure starts with mushrooms.
20? 40. If I go in with an all-in attack now, I wonder what he's gonna do. Oh. That's lethal, so he has to block. Or freeze, or... What do you think he's got? He's putting something down. That's 2. Okay, that's 3. One more gets through. We have another Rekindler, by the way. What is this? Ah, okay. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see what happens if we do this. That's already lethal. 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 10, 13. Which one? This one. That does 3 damage. If I pump this up for, that'll be 6, 7 plus 1, 3, 6, 9, 10. And what if he doesn't have a 6, 9. He is gonna heal. Oh no, he's not, because I have it countered. Why? Why don't you want me to reach 1? We only have one of these, and since it's there, I'll take it. Two hecarims, not good. Not good. Not good. That is not a good draw curve. That is not a good draw curve. I think he's quickly realizing how valuable this card is. If it's the longer it stays alive, the longer he keeps alive, as long as he's willing to take the damage. We'll have 4. That's his second one.
The strings.
Okay. Actually. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to chip away some health. Even though I'm losing units, I'm just trying to chip some health away from there. Can still block. We don't have to put hecarim down now. Or do we? I think I do. I think I do want to put hecarim down. So that I can just attack next turn immediately. Or cast the... Yeah. And what if he has... I have to... I can't... Oh shit, yeah. It's gonna go 5. He's gonna do 3, 6, 9, 12 damage. Can use it to block this. My main concern is that he's gonna have Mark of the Isle. So I'll have to take the damage. Okay.
The dark beckons. That's 2? 5. Unless he pumps this to kill. I think he's just drawing to see if what he can do. 3, 2, 5. GG. Whew. I got an email from Stream Elements. It says, "Hello, thank you for your Magic the Gathering Creator Program application. We have reviewed your content and would like to invite you to become a Magic Creator." Why is it coming from Stream Elements? Wasn't I already a Magic Creator? The Magic Creator Program is filled with lots of great challenges for you and your community to take on, and we'll be updating and adding new challenges from week to week and month to month. So, there will always be new things to explore. We'll tie challenges to new sets, new card interactions, and new events as they come up. Now it's time to work through challenges, earn rewards, and have fun with it. Additionally, you will be added to our mailing list, so if there are any cool and exciting events happening for Magic, we'll be sure to communicate that to you. In the meantime, please be sure to check out our Wizards Creator Program. What are we up against?
strings.
Finally. Wow. Wow.